defense.
Yeah, that was interesting to see him work on that.
And yes, we are, by the way, off. And yes, brackets are best of 3, meaning 2 wins to advance. And if we tie between the first 2 races, we go to a third match. You see some divergence. zerorush heading to do a more standard opener. Meanwhile, Futon does an opener more normal in Overworld glitches. zerorush gets himself a quick little bomb drop from the tree pull, which is nice.
And Futon's going to be using his free boots up there to get the 3 items at the back of Saraswala's hut, which is more accessible in Overworld glitches because of that.
Yeah, and one pull from that zerorush found might actually be interesting. He might decide to go for, okay, probably not, but there's a lamp in Sashura's back. zerorush could have decided to go for another 3 pull and then do bomb escape, which is a possibility, but usually not often seen.
Yeah, bomb escape isn't too bad unless you have to do the dark rooms.
zerorush, you know that bomb is a 3 pull. Why are you buying bombs?
I guess he just figured it would be a bit of a time save.
Okay, talking about stuff that zerorush practiced, here's a quick little way to Hobo. He buffers some weird inputs, looks weird, and he jumps straight into Hobo. Right in here, extremely fast setup that he found, I think, 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's cool to see him using it in a race now already.
Yeah. At first, I think he found some pretty bad things with that setup, which could lead to a hard lock or at least a soft lock, but looks like he figured everything out and is able to just use the setup now any time. And we're seeing something interesting for an overglitch seat, an early south shot. Usually you see runners put it off for quite some time or check it at least after Kakariko, but going for it early on is pretty rare.
Yeah, it can get put off to like halfway in the run on some seeds with some players.
I know I had that 2-hour South Shore play for Go mode already once.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it just was a nice rod. And it was placed in the most obvious spot.
Looks like Futon is building up for a tree pull, maybe.
Yeah, looks like he's trying to at least go for a tier 2. If he gets through it without taking hits, maybe it's tier 3. And he goes for the 20 rupees, even though he has already over 300.
And zerorush doing pretty well. Oh, flippers,
Hey, flippers
there.
and pearl and powder. Okay,
That's a
good
pretty
game.
good winning Wallarm.
Yeah, flippers only required if Swamp Palace is a crystal. Powder, nice safety, but only required if something is on magic bed. But pearl, that's kinda a nice thing. zerorush now has the entire Dark World available to him, as well as the entire Light World. Okay, I had to hold my breath there because zerorush almost straight up ran into a crab. And magnet, most important item ever, but not on the tracker.
And I think confirming the waterwork there.
Yeah, he did. He won't get too much out of it because he has the flippers, but it will allow him to move a bit faster over water. And we got the water in Kakariko. Nice.
Ah. And yeah, with the flippers, he loses his water walk, transitioning to the shallow water there. mildly annoying.
Yeah. By the way, that dashing onto shallow water with the water walk while having flippers is bad. Also, well, because if you would now run into a wall, he would bonk off it. And if you hit during the bonk animation in a different wall, he bonks back.
Yeah,
And mirror in. Okay, yeah, nice. And another bottle. Nice.
and he realizes now that he did that map check when he got the boat to see if he needed to do EP because now he knows he can full
Yeah.
clear it.
Yeah, we did had Eastern and Tower of Hera as crystals. Tower of Hera was a red crystal, by the way, which, since we did find the mirror on Futon's side, we don't care. And most important clip on Futon's side is chicken clip, as well as bombos. So
And
at this point, yeah, we got a lot of items already.
Unfortunately, Zero Rush didn't have enough rupees to check his aura because he was over at South Shore so soon.
Yeah, he might. He has a lot of opportunities to route it in. He can do it after Desert. He can do it after, well, kind of after Maya, but at this point, 7 quid would probably be faster. He can do it after this mountain, which he goes for now. Interesting play.
There are some definite opportunities, but it's still a bit slower having to walk all the way over there again.
Yeah, and Futon finds a shield and doesn't want it. He could, right here from this spot, go ahead and steal that shield, but not really a thing that you do need to do. Also, zerorush already being on Death Mountain, right now in the dark room. Dark rooms are not in logic, dark rooms are not a glitch.
Yeah, you will see pretty much every Overworld Glitches player do that room, even if they don't have a lamp, just because it's an easy check, and getting that save and quit spot is very appreciated in Overworld Glitches.
Nice info, a unique item in Super Bunny Cave. That's probably just gonna be the single arrow. Also, zerorush taking a death. I'm sure he knows where he now. Oh, okay, he has a ferry. Nice. Just getting rid of the ferry to avoid having it interfere with that swap, I guess. And hookshot.
It's a nice find.
And he could have skipped doing that clip there by doing a hook dash.
Yeah, but that clip does put you closer to the entrance, so you don't have to walk all the way up those stairs.
He could do the same clip by doing a hook dash and then walking through the wall.
Oh,
Just like you do GT clip. Yeah, it's usually slower because you have to equip the hookshot, but in this case the hookshot was kinda auto-equipped. Or was it? Don't know. He at least had it already equipped. And red boomerang. Definitely a nice one.
It'll be nice for those 2 rooms in GT at least.
And Futon right now going for Checkerboard Cave, yeah. He has the glove and we can go straight up here, no issues. There's even a nice little way to zip across there if you really want to. And zerorush not having any weapons to fight Modem goes for your faults. Zerorush, you need to scroll the screen down.
Yeah.
And looks like he's just going to death drop. You can hit that switch there with those items that he tried, but you need to scroll the screen far enough down to be able to almost see the switch. Otherwise, it's not loaded. Futon now on a check that usually a normal render is far out of the way. And glitch render kinda on the way. Just a hard piece.
Some nice movement to get a quick turtle lock climb over on Zero Rush's side.
zerorush does want another fairy. Doesn't feel too confident, and hey, there's a flute. Let's see if he looks to want it. In Overworld glitches, the flute is usually like pretty much a joke. If you can avoid it, you avoid to activate it, you usually do, because it's kinda a bit out of the way most of the time. But he wasn't yet in Kakariko, so that flute is gonna save some time, even if it's just little, even if he uses it just once.
Yep, and it'll be easy to activate with the mirror when he gets that.
Well, he will get the mirror right next to the flute activation, so there's no issue. Futon now in a bomb in the Miriam cave. He will get some quite nice items for this. He luckily gets the last mini-motor with the last bump he had.
Those mean he'll be missing out on that bugnet in the Ice Horde cave, but that probably won't be a big deal.
Well, he has the glove, so he can hope for a bomb from the boulder right next there, but there's also a clip to get in there without bombs.
Oh, I haven't seen anyone try that yet.
Well, it's technically 2 seconds faster, but at the same time, it's pretty so minor that you usually wouldn't go for it. And here, Futon goes for it.
Even though he got the bomb. Nice.
Yeah, he wants to save that bomb. It's probably a good call. At the same time, you might find a lot of bombs over the game. And here's his bugnet.
Yeah, he might want to save it for Paradox Cave when he swings up to Death Mountain.
And you did saw Futon there once walk out and back in. He did had to do that because he would be stuck in the wall otherwise, similar to how it happens if you don't line up good enough for the Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, and it also seems like he was trying to get really close to the edge there when water walk arming off pit edges is actually fairly generous.
Yeah, it's like a 5 pixel window or something, like extremely big.
And we're gonna see what's on that unique Super Bunny item now that Zero Rush is in the Dark World.
Yeah, and it looks like zerorush also tried to grab that stone. He can't, he doesn't have the glove from Kakariko, but let's see, cave.
There,
Okay.
yeah, there is.
Yeah, no use.
There is a clip up to the back entrance of the Hookshot Cave, which is in Logic now. And with Hookshot, he could get all 4, so we'll see if he does that.
Looks like he isn't. zerorush, please. And there's the bow for Futon. So, speaking of the bow, let's see when our runners are going for Palace of Eastern Palace.
And Futon has enough money, so we'll see what useless trash is on Zora this seed.
Yeah, it's gonna be something like shovel into mushroom into a single rupee.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, just a lot of love. He loves our money.
And I think that's a small magic refill on tier 2 pull.
Yeah, you usually have kit to set up if you pull the tree just randomly, just because you kinda got hit at some point and you probably did hit more than 4 enemies.
Oh, got Futon going for the Zora DMA.
Yeah, a pretty rare DMA to see, but ooh, let's see if he knows. Yes, he knows. Okay, that's good.
Oh,
He got he's going for the top of this mountain if he wants. Yep, he's going for straight into the spiral cave.
oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I forgot that was
Or
a
not.
thing for Zora DMA.
Yeah, okay, he's going for the top entrance for for Paradox Cave. You can go straight for Spiral Cave from here, which would be faster if you know where it is. And now zerorush gonna pick up all his hype items in throughout Kakariko, like mirror and everything.
And they'll be pretty close to party soon with Futon finishing up Death Mountain and zerorush finishing up Kakariko.
Yeah, Futon here has to kill the mini modems because he still needs to get into Spiral Cave and the rest of this mountain. Hitting modems with a bow kinda hard if they move randomly without any restrictions.
Yeah, I think he's trying to save bombs, but I've honestly
he
just
gets
used
this.
one at that point.
And zerorush did activate the flute. Since he already was here, it's nice. It's a good play. And there is his bombos medallion that he cannot use.
Yeah, interesting to see how long it'll take. Futon got the glitch where you hit just the corner of the bonk rocks and it pops out this item without breaking.
Well, he bonked off one of the dead rocks, actually, and afterwards got damaged by the same. Which is a weird thing, but if you are bonking off in the general area of the bonk rocks for the ferry, you kind of just get the bonk price from them. That's pretty much true for all the bonk items. Also, Futon, don't know why. Okay, I guess.
I'm just gonna peek what's on Spec Rock before checking for the hint.
Yeah, which is an interesting play to do because the hits can lead for some pretty good things. And he's now going to save the old man just like zerorush did earlier, just without having to correct his camera and everything.
Or without having to do it blind. Not that that's really hard.
Yeah, zerorush didn't have anything good for him, so he did had to do it with Bugnet and stuff, but still, it's not that hard. It's a pretty easy route to learn. You just need to know when you hit the corners.
Yeah, I think he used his bow a few times in the dark room
Yeah.
to map it out.
Yeah, you can use the bow in the dark room to just shoot at a wall and then, well, look at how the arrow moves to know how you move. It's a pretty nice trick.
And there's a red boomerang for zerorush small. Nice little hookshot speed activated off the stairs at the back of the Hera first floor.
And let me now see, of course, Zero do the checks that Photon did earlier with K45 and Checkerboard Cave as well as Agina.
And Futon does have a fire source here, so he'll be able to see what's on the bottom, the back basement of Hera. Oh,
Looks like he doesn't want to go there yet. It's a decent play. You might find the last item on Moldom later on. And here's our Dark World map check. We got a pendant in Maya, a green pendant in Turtle Rock, and the second 5-6 was in Skullwoods.
And now we'll get to see what's on Hookshot Cave, because Futon will have the glove and won't pass up just lifting up the front.
Yeah, zerorush didn't go for the Hookshot clip, which isn't logic. We should probably remind him after the game, because you can be required to find your first love inside here.
I remember before the tournament started, someone on the Discord had a seed where they were required to get theirs from Hookshot Cave, I think.
Yeah, that was kind of the realization point for most of us that this is actually in logic now, because we kind of did added inverted over glitches logic right before, a few months before the tournament started, and that was one of the things that was added there, because for reasons we kind of all forgot about it being added, and yeah, that's a nice little thing.
And that's Bombos on front of Total Rock.
Yeah, not that we care too much about it, because we can get inside even without it. But Futon gonna check out what's on Catfish. Another thing that zerorush kinda tried, but didn't got. Mimic Cave without mirror is not in logic. It's one of those sets clips that is too complicated and will never get in for this. Maybe for Major, but probably not.
Yeah, it's a very silly clip.
It's not necessarily a hard clip, it's just an annoying one. And Futon right now doing another clip that's actually in logic and always was. A clip to Graveyard Ledge. Perfectly fine, no difficulty. As long as you know the setup. If you don't know the setup, that clip can be horrible to perform.
Yes, boots are added by default in Overworld glitches seeds because it's necessary to do a lot of the glitches that are intended to be done, and without them, it would be a lot of basically no major glitches near the start, and then whoever got the boots first would have a major advantage.
Yeah, so there is boots logic for this, but more. It's kinda only Mirror, I think, that has logic without boots put to it. And yeah, that's kinda not too interesting. And Zero Rush right now going for a Batcave clip. This is also completely in logic. You have to jump over the screen transition and transition in onto the same screen that you were already on, and can, well, pretty much just enter the Batcave. And we get some defense for it, which is nice.
It's a little bit of safety is nice.
And Futon does a Death Mountain decent in the light world. Why?
I think it looks like he put down the portal for the Pyramid Ferry. I wasn't looking, but oh no.
Yeah, looks like he did, but at the same time, at this point, why not just activate the flute and flute there? But yeah, he's did place the portal here.
He needs to enter from the right. If he just slides in. If he just slides.
He is good positions. That's not the problem. It's more that he kind of didn't get. He kind of wasn't far enough on the. He kind of was one pixel too far on the left. Hey, we got another bottle. And Zero Rush now going for the bow that was pretty early on in logic.
Yeah, and if what I was trying to say is if Futon just entered between those bushes and entered that portally placed down from the right, then he would have been able to leave that Pyramid Ferry room on his first try instead of having to repeatedly leave.
Well, the problem wasn't that he had to go that way. It was more a problem of him having to make sure that he's far enough on the right. He could have gotten out even with that portal placement by coming in as far below as possible. And Futon just did there a nice little clip to get right through the water. By the way, he didn't do escape while he was there, but he found some myths. An interesting item.
Yeah, logically required for a few things in Overworld glitches, but unlikely to see any use of if they're not found, and possibly not even if they are found.
Yeah, we kinda have a lot of clips to kinda avoid those things everywhere. Kinda. We in Ice Rod requires Yama. Interesting hint. Not useful because we do not need the Ice Rod today, but Silver is for Futon, and we got the bow already, so will be a Silver's fight for him, for Ganon. Also, this weird screen that's going on around Futon, kinda normal. That's completely vanilla and intended, and that's how it always should look like. If your game didn't look like that, please send it to Nintendo and get it fixed. And yeah, just pointing out Quake for Maya, which is... Okay, the Maya medallion is the only medallion that we might need. At the same time, we kinda can avoid it.
Hopefully there aren't any important items in Maya.
Or, maybe on pedestal. Also, okay. That's 100% vanilla digging game. I bet all the no major glitches 100% runner would love that luck, but it's impossible on vanilla because you need to at least dig 25 times in vanilla. In randomizer, it's random and set for the seed if you have to do between 1 and 30 digs.
Yeah, digging games and Zelda games do not have a good record for speedrunners. I don't think they like the one in Ocarina of Time either.
Yeah, and chat asking what pedestal can even have. Let's see. We do need the fire rod, but that can't be on there. We do need swords. We do need the hammer. But we know ice rod is hammer locked, so can't be there either. So it's pretty much down to swords for pedestal. Or anything that leads to all other swords, pretty much. Hammer can't be on pedestal because we have a hint that told that the ice rod is hammer locked.
A required master sword on pedestal would be pretty funny, but that's a pretty extreme situation.
Yeah, it can be required fighter sword too because we do have medallions that we need to cast from Maya, and possibly depending on key logic, logically for pot for Turtle Rock, but that's a different thing to call about.
And zerorush picking up that dark rock like it's no problem with his gloves.
Yeah, it's not like you'd need Mitsu's. I hope you didn't you didn't wait for Mitsu lift this up because that's completely free.
And Futon's probably hoping he'll get that hammer somewhere here before he heads into the front of Thieves Town, and did not get it, of course.
Yeah, he goes for front of SpeedGaming. It makes sense. He checked a lot of things already. There's pretty much only front of Skywoods and front of SpeedGaming left, and he's right here. Oh, and of course Gensao, which Zero Rush is in right now, but there are only 3 items in here that Zero Rush can get right now.
Yeah, most of the right side is Samaria locked, most of the left side is hammer locked.
Yeah, and even afterwards, everything past the first item on right side is locked by fire rod as well. And hey, hammer time.
That actually really paid out for Zero Rush there. Now he can just clear out the rest of the left side.
Yeah, and if there's an item in the big chest for Seastone, that could be bad for Futon. We just found the Smoky, so it might be.
Yeah. You still got 2 dungeon items that could appear in the small chest. He's not going to
By the way, chat, who guessed number 5?
And unfortunately, can't do that game as easily in Overworld glitches with possibly runners multiply dipping the tower.
Yeah, it kinda is pretty impossible to A, keep track of it, and B, know when they are actually going for the tower.
And Zero Rush just got the 1 medallion he will absolutely never need there.
You know, if you may struggle with Gyptos a bit, you can use it. And Fire Rod. Okay.
Still needs that sword for at least Master Sword for Go mode. So
Yeah.
wonder when we're gonna start seeing swords.
Yeah, we are right now in Swords left for Zero Rush to be in Go mode. Hey, Sword 1. So, and so Maria, okay.
Yeah, very nice Can's Tower.
Yeah, so pretty much Zero Rush just needs now a second Sword for Go mode. That's everything he needs right now. There is nothing that can stand in his place, even if he wouldn't know the Ice Palace Bomb Jump and Ice Palace requires the Maria. He's good. He of course knows the Ice Palace Bomb Jump. And no, he is not in Go mode, he still needs a Master Sword. But he will pretty much run through most dungeons right now, just after each other in case to get the second sword.
Yeah, if he can get the sword in one of the dungeons he has to do, then that will be very good for him, obviously, instead of doing overload checks.
Yeah, it looks to be Master Sword Silverless for Zero Rush, but it's not gonna be too bad, I hope. And you see Zero Rush right now going for pokes instead of for spins or anything, because Amos would get hit for less damage by pokes. Also, hey, look! Who wants to have a pedestal check to find out if the Master Sword is actually on pedestal? And yeah, Master Sword. Okay.
And that's Go mode.
Yeah, Futon, go to GT please now. Thanks.
Oh man.
Like, literally GT saying, hey, you need the hammer to do more in here? Okay, go ahead. You need the fire rod to do more stuff? Okay, go ahead. You need the big key? Go ahead. You need swords? Oh yeah, right. Here. You want more swords? Of course. Everything.
Yeah, literally everything you need to full clear GT is in GT.
Yeah, and literally everything you need to for Go mode is in GT next to it.
So yeah, that's an interesting turn in this seed.
Yeah, this is going to be an awfully low collection rate. By the way, Zero Rush right now has only one dungeon cleared. This is going to be 6 dungeons in Go mode.
Yep.
Yeah. By the way, we didn't saw anything of Front Castle on either side, so that's also something to talk about. And it looks like Futon is kinda scrambling where to go next. He obviously doesn't really want to go to GT yet because he doesn't have the hammer or the cane to do anything in there, but at the same time, everything he needs is in there. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate for him.
He's making the smart plays, but this is a stupid seed. It does not. The smart plays are not paying.
Yeah, looks like he's now going for Publisher's Team. I think he wants to go for Palace of Darkness as well. But yeah, Futon's only really good thing is Zero Rush is right now on 10 hearts, Blue May Master Sword. Blue May kinda doesn't make it the defense part a bit nicer, but he's on Master Sword. He will take a lot of hearts if he goes for a quick Vitreous fight. He will take a lot of hearts if he gets hit by Ganon a few times. There are a lot of... Oh, he doesn't have to do Vitreous fight. Dang. Cold Stare makes damage, I guess, but at the same time you can do quick Cold Stares if you know how. Oh, dang.
Yes, Silverless Master Sword Ganon is going to be fun to watch if he has to do that.
Yeah, he probably gonna hope for some sword on a boss or on the way to a boss in like Place of Darkness or something. And we see Fudan do nice in this film here. He needs to look out. He's going for South Darkwood, yeah, I guess.
Yep.
Definitely. And I think he actually... okay, he's soft locked. Yeah, if you wonder how that picture on the screen behind our runners happened, that way. Just a lot of more inputs had to be done. But it's pretty much the exact same way how, Futon just got soft locked there.
And validation check chest. I hope sure Chad is happy.
Yeah, that Moonum 2 chest is definitely a good one to check if you are still looking for another sword upgrade. It might be in it might be not. And yeah, probably a Sword and Swamp, but to be honest with how Ganon's Tower was, I wouldn't be wondered if there were 2 more swords on the right side GT. And looks like Futon goes for GT now.
Yeah, so definitely behind, but he's catching up a bit here now that he's not doing others.
Okay, Futon doesn't go for GT, he goes for pot, which is not good.
Yeah.
This is kinda just not good for Futon. Oh, and of course the castle, which we didn't saw yet, which is a good play. It's technically a better play than going for GT at this point, but at the same time, the seed sale is different.
I guess the best Futon can hope for over here in the castle is sword.
Yeah, best would probably be 2 spots actually, because that would mean that once he finds a fire rod in Ganon's Tower, he'd be in go mode. And nice silver arrow there from Futon, sniping the ball and chain guard early on.
Yeah, the arrow and dash there is pretty cool and fast.
Yeah. Yeah, technically going for a bow dash would be faster than just shooting an arrow, but at the same time that's a difference from frames, so not really anything too applicable. And yeah, Fudan, you have to go into try with that setup. And hey, we got the last medallion! Coin collection completed. And Shed asked what round of the tournament this is. This is the first match of the first matchup in brackets. So this is round 1 of brackets, and there are overall 4 rounds for brackets. Zerorush let me quickly open up the Shalonga.
Just hunting for that big key in Palace of Darkness for him.
Yeah, okay, Zerorush did finish up first in the group stage in his group D. Meanwhile,
Futon's doing the Overworld glitches Kiki skip.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing. You pretty much do an Easter clip, which is a clip that you usually see in all dungeons and similar. And he now has to take the mirror portal by being up far enough to go straight into Place of Darkness. It's working similar to how the pyramid thing works. Pretty much just exactly the opposite. You place the portal and normally and grapple it while having a wrapped screen.
Yeah, pretty surprising to find out that you can trigger portals on with your screen wrapped, but that's it. Apparently how it works. Just completely works on global coordinates.
Yeah, the same actually can be done in inverted to skip some items. I actually used it once to actually get a portal, place it slightly different, and then go back into the portal with auto wrapped screen, just to get to Tower of Hera without hammer.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, without hammer or pearl. But now I would probably just run frame it, but we didn't have any easy setups for it back then, so I just did the extremely complicated, dumb setup that I had there.
Zerorush searching nearly the whole dungeon to get that big key, but some of the other ones he has to do will be easier to do in go mode.
So now Fudan did find out that there's cash on the green pendant. That hint isn't useful at all. It's not keeping him away from checks nor bringing him towards checks. Because Ice Rod is behind the hammer and the hammer is in GT next to all the other stuff that he still needs.
We'll at least get to see what's in the dark maze and big chest on Futon's side, but again it can't be much important other than swords.
Yeah, swords will probably be the only thing that he can find here that would make any difference. Well, any positive difference at least.
Yeah, even if he manages to pick up a golden, the longer this goes on, the harder it's going to be for him to catch up.
Well, he will definitely not find the golden thread with the master thread position in GT Big Chess and having go mode beforehand. Also, we did find ourselves the hammer-locked ice rod. It's in the chess that most people forget is actually hammerlock, and the check that actually, at least I forgot sometimes that it's actually a hammerlock, being Hammersaw himself.
And mirroring straight T's turn from there. Can full clear this, but it's not going to get him any of the things he needs.
Yeah. Futon right now really just scrambling to get anything at this point, but zerorush clearing everything he can. So Fera afterwards he will probably go for Thieves Town, let's go with Thieves Town, and then Swamp Palace, Ice Palace. Probably actually Thieves Town into Skull Woods because it's faster. Or if he wants to actually do some cool tricks, finishing on Thieves Town as your last dungeon has actually the fastest route to the Ganon Hole after beating Ganon's Tower itself last.
That'd be interesting.
And looks like zerorush goes for either Ice Palace now, or he goes for Swamp Palace. Both would be good options. Ice Palace to not have to do that right after Swamp Palace, and Swamp Palace because it's slightly faster.
Yeah, figure Swamp Palace into Ice Palace.
Yeah, it's faster to do it this way, but at the same time kinda irrelevant to pretty much. If you fail the way into Ice Palace right afterwards, that's a lot more time lost than you do save from getting it.
Oh, all you need to do is not fail it. No big deal.
Yeah, 500 IQ play, I know. Yeah, kinda true, but at the same time, you do have the hammer for Moss, so you do have a forward kill for that. And even Master Sword, Mossula isn't that bad. Well, he isn't that bad unless he literally stays in the spikes the entire time, which is bad for all weapons.
Yeah, that damage class overriding glitch isn't very fun in Mothula.
Well, it's not really a glitch, it's an intended mechanic. And it just kinda happens to work out that you kinda don't want to hit the Mossula into the spikes at that point, and the game doesn't really communicate that.
And go mode Swamp Palace, of course, is very nice and fast. Get to skip the annoying left side and all the other checks.
Yeah, you can kinda just literally go to the boss and ignore everything but the very first chest where always a key's inside. Also, really nice purple kills from Futons here. It's pretty hard to do them fast.
Yeah, killing them quick without the sword is a bit harder. Definitely. A lot harder.
And like Chet says, ZeroRush knows the zero cycle for Argos. At the same time, going for the standard threads. Well, okay, you can actually go for the same thread with Master Spread, which still gets you one cycle, or if you're doing it better, two cycle. But at the same time, it's a lot easier if you have at least the tempered sword.
Yeah, Tempered Sword is obviously the ideal for a lot of bosses.
Yeah, and you see ZeroRush actually going for it a bit. You pretty much do poke dash against boost of the two ones if you get it, and that's just a bit slower than you do it with tempered. He didn't get it too much, and he didn't want to waste too much time on trying to get it. Right now, he tried to get a quicker on phase 2, which with Master Sweat you have to do 3 Fire Rod or Ice Rod hits, afterwards a spin with Master Sword, and gets a kind of burner out of it.
Oh, Futon finally over to Ganon's tower out of desperation at this point, I guess.
Yeah, he will find his goal mode in about 5 to 10 minutes, not even. Ooh, ZeroRush going for a slower clip to Ice Palace, but if you know it, it's a lot safer.
Oh, he's doing the flippers one, yeah.
Yeah, at the same time, if you screw up, you can easily screw up if you don't know it enough.
Yeah, he's hopping past the right transition a couple of times, and then intentionally triggering it away to scroll it over.
Yeah, the way this works is actually the game keeps track that you're on a small overworld screen, but it transitions. But you go over onto a globally big screen, which the game confuses. The game doesn't know what to do. So as long as you're in the upper left part of the overworld screen, everything's fine. Once you leave that, the game knows, hey, you should be able to do that, and instantly transitions you. Which, without completely updating the global coordinates, it puts us straight into the thing, onto the Ice Road Cave screen, which is really nice. And looks like Futon might think about going for right stick before Amos. He did put out Odds Mirror before changing his mind, but before realizing that he has to do Run Room.
Smarty and that much needed first sword.
Yeah, and looks like he's going to take that straight to Amos. With a bit of luck, he actually does the fast thing and does a big chest before Amos.
Yeah, looks like he's going for it.
Yes, that's good. He is in go mode! Just about 20 minutes behind ZeroRush.
Obviously puts him at a pretty significant disadvantage, but we'll see how much he can make it up. No, that's a lucky fairy for him.
So yeah, ZeroRush is by far ahead. He's right now in his third to last crystal dungeon, and he already has cleared out Gen's tower. Meanwhile, Futon only has one crystal cleared, and he still has to pretty much slam the rest of Gen's tower and then do 6 dungeons afterwards in go mode.
And Zero using a bomb booster to save some fire rod shots for Cold Stare since he's only on Master Sword. Very nice Master Sword Cold Stare kill with the fire rod.
Yeah, pretty good kills there, especially for just having Master Sword. No save from Zero Rush. He is on his way to beat the seed.
Yep. Not like he's got any tricks left that could ruin the seed. Or like cause him to reset.
Yeah, there shouldn't be anything, even if you would go for the thing that I described. The worst thing that he can do during that clip is completely mess up and run into the completely wrong direction, which was hardlock, which it's pretty not really a thing that could happen if you know what you're doing, and everything else would be at worst to learn.
He's still making check. Oh no, he's got to check for the big key. But probably hoping he gets a sword from one of them too, which he won't.
Yeah, that big key is in the last chest in the front. And we of course know there's no sword in the front. There might be a sword in the big chest, of course, but we don't know that there might be a sword on the boss that Futon could not check because he didn't have any weapon to hit blind with.
Yeah, not even one of the really bad ones.
Yeah, we did hit Hammer in GT, locking 2 of the swords, the only 2 that we found so far, locking the Maria, and also locking the Can of Burner.
Yep.
And the silver spare on Stumpy. That's the only thing that Zero Rush could find still, kinda, but at the same time, we kinda know he won't go there.
Yeah, that'd be pretty far out of the way with go mode routing at this point.
Yeah. I think it would still save more time compared to just skipping it, but at the same time he doesn't know, so he won't go for it.
Yeah, if he knew they were there, it would be totally worth going for instead of doing a Master Sword Silverless, but as far as he knows, it's just an ordinary check with as much a chance of anything else. Futon finally downing Aga too.
Yep. No, just dungeons. Not just the dungeons at the bottom of the trackers are diverging the progress of Futon and Zero. But of course, that's kinda a lot.
Yeah, Zero's just about to finish up his 6th crystal dungeon, and Futon is heading to finish off his 1st or 2nd.
Yeah, he's going for another quick little key skip. No, Futon, that's too far up. That's too far up. That's good. That position is good enough, and yeah, that position will work.
a little annoyed by those snapshots there.
Yeah. Phuton, you were good. I pretty much remember it by the force bump. How do I have my visual cue? So it's pretty easy to know if you get it or not. And this is even faster to do if you know what you're doing when you have Kiki already opened and just want to go back into Place of Darkness. And bad pauser? Okay.
Yeah, I got a bonk there.
Yeah. I don't know how exactly how precise the position needs to be.
I remember he said he tested and found it was like 3 pixels.
Yeah, probably good to have a visual cue for that on the where to stand if you are on the lightweight screen to know when you get it. Also, he didn't have to open the hammer portals there. He could have just used the mirror portal that still was there. And zerorush did just quickly check the vanilla big key chest in the woods. It's just a key.
It looks like Phuton is just going to do it the intended way, getting in the front of pod.
Yeah. If you mess it up, it's of course not faster than just going the Kiki way.
Yeah, he weighed trying again for a second there and decided it was better to just take Kiki's offer. Oh, that's a nice fire rod dash from zerorush there.
And we're in to the monster fight. But this is gonna be hopefully a pretty good fight. If Monster decides to go out of the spikes at some point.
Losing a fuse. Oh, that wasn't too bad.
There we go. Yeah. He sticked a bit to the spikes, but he dies and gives us a lag generator. Yeah, zerorush is pretty much so far ahead because he went into Ganon's tower early on, which had literally everything else that wasn't Sphere 0 or Sphere 1. That wasn't Sphere 1 or Sphere 2 in the seed and was needed for Go mode.
Yeah, including all the items you need, or most of the items you need to full clear Ganon's tower.
Yeah, which just was dumb because you go into Ganon's tower without anything. Not even hammer, not Kano from Mario 4, just Tyroom or anything. Nope, everything's in there. And yes, zerorush now has to do Cyrillus Master Sword Ganon. He definitely got it down, I know it. He is a pretty good runner. He definitely did practice that fight. But it's gonna take a long time, and if he does fail at some point and repeats that fail a few times, like let's say 20, Phuton suddenly is ahead. Phuton, zerorush doesn't have any potions. He has a fairy, but he has a lamp, so he doesn't need potions. Lamp allows for a lot of uses.
And here's the really fun part of Master Sword Ganon, the second phase.
Yeah, he could have gotten both cannons there, which would have allowed him to pretty much finish the fight in this phase. But it's a pretty hard thing to even get in there pretty decently.
Oh, getting a double in there, very nice.
Yeah, I think it's like done, or well, it should be done after this one. He has a fairy, he should be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Oh,
Just
and he
getting
has a
a
green
little
potion,
squishy.
which was somewhere, I guess.
Oh, there's the fairy revive.
To be honest, considering that he has a green potion, I would have gone for going for Cape for phase 2.
Yeah.
That would have allowed him to pretty much finish that phase a lot quicker.
Although he has had that queen for a while and hasn't used it, so maybe he just forgot about it.
Yeah, it's not really a thing that you think too much about. And Lamb should hero. You only have Master Swords, this is not a tempered fight. With if you would go for Fighter Rod, Pirate Silverless, you'd need to have pretty much only triple Master Sword spins, which is kinda not a thing you'd go for unless you are required. And even if you're required, you would go to search for some more things. But he gets a few nice spins here.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well with this so far. A little squishy from the fairy revive, but I'm sure he can do this.
Yeah, he gets the triplet, so he should get through soon. But getting in the upper right corner pretty much means you cannot get a triplet in this phase.
No, I think that's his first miss.
Yeah, he has now 2 misses, and I think he should start to consider using the lamp.
He'll just chug the green if he needs to.
Yeah, right. Yeah, considering he has a green, that's fine. But yeah. And
Another triple,
there
and
he
that
is
ends
goes.
it.
So yeah, chat, get your GGs into the chat for Zero Rush, finishing with an official SRL time of 1 hour 13 minutes and 4 seconds. GGs, and Futon does forfeit.
Yeah, can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's kind of understandable, especially since we are in brackets, there are no tiebreaker things.
Yeah, GG on all of a seed to zero.
And we are now joined by Futon. I would say GG, but you kind of got rendered.
Yeah, that's kind of how it always goes for me.
Yeah, I know what you feel, and this seed was kind of just. Zero goes into GT early on. He only did a few Darkwood checks there and finds everything. Also, talking about finding everything, GG Zero Rush, nice play.
Yeah, that was a hell of a GT.
Yeah, the hammer, fire rod, and both swords.
Yeah, also since you were in GT, also the Mario, so there was literally no incentive to go into GT outside of the 3 items that are already
Yeah.
available.
Yeah. I like to do GT early for that reason. Like even if I don't have hammer, it's just it's one of those locations that it's not too far out of the way. You can usually just save and quit and get right there pretty quickly. And if it has items in there, it's really bad if you put it off for that long.
Yeah, there are a few situations where you can go for it. You could set up the mirror portal for Pyramid Ferry, then go into GT, and once you clear those 3 checks out, die outside to go back to Link's house, which is a nice play that I did a few times. But other than that, it's pretty much 3 isolated locations that you usually want to put off until you have the other items to make those 3 locations into 20.
Yeah, usually you'd
Yeah.
want at least the hammer or the Samaria to be able to be one of the sides. But they were both up there this time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there was. I guess based on what we have, we don't know where the other 2 swords are. So full clearing the entire game, waiting for a sword to open everything else, or a hammer to kill things, didn't work.
Yeah, we kind of think about right side GT probably. We just because we already had 2 in there. Maybe Swamp or Ice Palace, and of course we never went into Maya or Turtle Rock for good reasons.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
hoping Zero Rush would full clear Thieves Town, and having done similar things to me, get a sword there and go into like Maya, Turtle Rock, and stuff like that. If he found Samaria along that path, waste a lot of time like that. that was my game plan.
Yeah.
There was a sword.
Okay.
Was there a sword in Thieves Town?
We don't know. Futon couldn't check the big
Oh,
chest.
right. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he couldn't
I have
even
no
check
idea.
the boss at that point.
Yeah, I bailed because I couldn't even fight him.
I
Yeah.
went into Hera without a weapon the first
Yeah,
day.
Futon did the same.
God, I went to every
Who's
dungeon
of
without a
you-
weapon.
Who's of you only had hookshot as weapon and kind of bombs, but that's not really a weapon, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I used to put off GT way back in the day, but I've been.
Yeah.
It's devastating when there's an item in GT. There's a progression item in
Yeah.
GT like Hammer or Cane. It's real bad. So
Yeah.
even though it's not as efficient, like I'm willing to take that time
Yeah.
loss just to make sure I don't waste 30 minutes somewhere else.
Yeah, it probably is at least a better play than going out of your way to check out Place of Darkness if you can clear it, just because it's right there compared to Place of Darkness when you don't have Hammer, which is all the way at the around the world.
Yeah. I ended up having to do it twice, not GT, because I forgot I didn't have gloves the first time. So I was like, well, I'll check Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny before I do
Talking
GT.
about Hookshot Cave, do you know that Hookshot Cave without love is in logic?
Hookshot Cave, what?
Hookshot Cave without love is in logic, and you kind of tried to grab it, but then just moved on. There is a clip for it similar to the hero clip, where you jump off the bottom to land at the top and go through the back.
And that's in logic, really?
That's in logic since version 30.4.
Oh man, well, good thing there wasn't, gloves in there.
Yeah.
I did not know that, so that's good to know.
Yeah, that got someone on the Discord that had their gloves in there, and that's how a lot of the people got reminded of it before the tournament.
Yeah, it kind of went completely under the rug, and then someone said, "Hey, is this now in logic or not? Because I just had love in here and definitely no other things available." So yeah, we kind of everyone forgot about it pretty much until that.
Wow. Well, that's good to know. I have to learn that one real quick.
Yeah, it's not that hard. I think I have a clip of it in there. If I don't, there's a clip at least in the tutorial videos that we did before the tournament. Should be in the second one, I think, where the Espion did with the boot clips, I think. But yeah. By the way, I think you want to find out where the servers were.
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to what Ganon
Yeah.
said about them.
Yeah, well, they were in the Dark World, in the South Dark World, so you kinda didn't check that much there, but it's pretty much stumpy.
Okay. Also, now that I think about it, I should have checked Hype Cave before Ice Palace.
Yeah, that would have been your other glove.
Oh, okay. Well, that didn't matter anyway.
Yeah, you were extremely well on the flipper setup for it.
Yeah, I like that
worried.
setup.
Yeah, I kind of was worried since you, after the first one, you did do some weird movement to dash there, which I think was your flipper script for that. And I was just hoping that you do not do that same movement on the second script, because if you do that, you kind of cannot save it too much. You could go for Ice Rod Cave, I guess.
Yeah. It on the second wrap, as soon as you move right, it wraps you, or the second. Yeah. No, I am aware of that.
Yeah, you are past the middle of the ice palace screen, which puts you in a spot where the game doesn't know what to do and just transitions you. Also, by the way, 122 collection rate, which is insane.
Yeah, 122 collection rate, and I have almost every item.
Yeah, you pretty much missing 2 bottles, silvers, blue boomerang, and 2 swords, 2 shields, and 1 mail and 1 glove. So yeah.
So nothing
I was a little upset. This seed was perfect for going from Light World Death Mountain to Lost Woods, except I didn't have a sword, and I can't remember if you can pick up bushes in that clip screen.
I think you can pick up bushes, but you get this weird you're talking about the upwards rep, right? Yeah, I think you can pick up bushes and even throw them, but not sure.
I guess I could have went in through the door instead, but
yeah, you would have at least be able to pick it up. That's sure. And I think you could have even just went into the fall hole if you really wanted.
Yeah. But I mean, it all worked out anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, everything was good in the end. Also, I think you practiced some weird deathFouton descent straight to flippers for the Zora area, I guess, before the race. Definitely looked cool what you got there.
Oh yeah, you can get to Zora from that cliff if you have flippers. It's not. I can't think of any time it would be beneficial to do that rather than just going straight to Zora's domain, because you're already up there usually. But I wanted to see if you could do it without flippers.
Yeah, it looked like you were trying to find a flipperless setup and you just kept splashing.
Yeah, my idea with the bomb would be that you actually pick up the bomb and wait till it almost explodes and then jump with it into the water, but it probably wouldn't work still. Just because bombs in jump into water are weird.
Yeah. I tried jumping with it just placed, but it would bounce me off the water and still splash, even though I went into the shallow area.
Yeah, that's also one of the weird things that sometimes happen if you jump in weird ways onto shallow water. just because the game thinks, hey, you should splash, so you splash, even if you could stand there. So yeah, you would have to find probably a way straight to land, which probably isn't possible for someone that's non-Tess, and even Tess would be like bounce off Zora Fireball into Zora into land or something dumb.
What I do need to learn is how to get to the Ganon hole from North Dark World.
Oh, from Seastone, you mean?
Yeah.
Do you know the setup to get the river clips there to jump onto Aga Castle?
No.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much the same. They should probably do a video of it and post them into the channels. But yeah, it's pretty much you clip into the rail west of Thanks to the little razor, and once you deep enough, you either jump straight down or dash straight down to jump diagonal over the screen transition, and then transition once to the right, and you got it.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of similar to the old Pyramid Fairy clip with the.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same as the old Pyramid Fairy clip, just that instead of placing the mirror, you transition over there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I actually don't know if it would be faster if you do that after Thief Down instead of save and quit after Squads. But well, in case you do Thief Down, Squads, and Squads, Thief Down, either way. But I
Yeah.
think save and quit from Squads should be faster. I know going for the clip itself from Squads is slower, just because of all the overworld and underworld transitions you have to do.
Well, if you have the mirror, you can mirror south of the back of Skullwoods. By
Yeah,
the
you can do
entrance.
that, but at the same time, you do quite some extra stuff just to get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
it's definitely faster than walking out of Skullwoods the normal way, but
yeah, it's
I
definitely
still don't know if
faster.
it's faster than save
It's
quitting.
well, with mids it should be faster, just because you can right after that do Thief Town, and from Thief Town going to that clip is faster. But yeah, I think we annoyed the viewers for long enough with us rambling around glitches that they didn't even saw. So yeah, let's give them something else to see and talk about some stuff. And I don't know if they are done with the daily yet, but if they are not, on SpeedGaming 3, the daily, and if you are German or understand Germans, on SpeedGaming Deutsch, the German Electric Randomizer Tournament is still going on. And if you can wait until 4 p.m., which is in half an hour, Super Metroid Double Anti-Bingo, where they are doing some dumb stuff just because their enemy told them to. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, seems to be on speed gaming a lot lately, that double anti-bingo.
Yeah. The last one I catched, one of the runners had to actually skip out on some pretty usually necessary items, while the other one had to go out of his way to collect 30 items that are usually completely useless. So,
That
yeah,
sounds fun.
what do you think it was? But yeah, I think we are going to wrap it up. The runners were Futon and zerorush. Thanks for running. With me on the mic, Chico. Thanks for all the talks. On our tracking, we had Dimensive. Thanks for all the buttons. And I've been Michael K. And to all of you viewers out there, thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed.
Everyone have a good day.